Hello, my friends. It's Obi-Wan MuGaBa, Abawega, coming to you once again from my backyard. And today is the 16th day of July 2014. And I'm going to be discussing another topic today. And the topic is a question I'm often asked. What's your source of all this information you're telling? What's your source? I need to verify sources. What's your source? That's the kind of question I get. Okay, so here's the answer to the source question. It doesn't matter how I know this. It doesn't matter. I can tell you later on. I will tell you a little bit later on how I know this, but it doesn't matter because here's the point that you need to keep in mind. That as you are awakening to other perspectives of reality. Remember our first episode? Keep an open mind. Depends on where you're looking at it from as to what you're seeing. You don't have to lose all your belief systems. Just put them in a little package and set them next to you and keep them safe. But keep an open mind ahead of you as to other possibilities to consider that you've never considered before. Why have you never considered them before? They've been dismissed out of hand in ignorance. Has to be, or else you'd have some reason why you never considered these viewpoints before. Because likely they have crossed your path of experience, and you've quickly set them aside as nonsense, as metaphysical stuff, as woo-woo stuff, as spiritual stuff, as religious stuff, as whatever kind of stuff it is that you don't like. You've set it aside as, I'm not going there, I'm going this way with my thinking. And so it's been, because you can choose to do that. You have the free will. It's a wonderful gift of the cosmos. This is a free will universe. Every living entity has free will. Okay? That's how we exist here. That's an important reality to recognize. Now, what's the next one? The next one to recognize is the source doesn't matter, because what do you do to the information when you receive it? Well, you're going to be watching and listening, so your eyes and ears are in fact, these things are just sensors of vibration in the air and light frequencies from the eyes, They're just sensors, and so you process it. You learn to process it in your mind. You make ideas about, what do you think about this person by the way he looks? Can I trust him? Is he speaking honestly? You process that way, and then in your heart, Well, here's the thing: when you hear the information that I'm conveying to you in the previous and subsequent video clips, this is what I would very much encourage you to do. Try not to analyze it with your mind, but to resonate with it with your heart. You see, when you hear the information, it's going to have to, be logical and reasonable and acceptable to your mind. But the mind is not where it really needs to go. It needs to go past the mind and into the heart. And the heart is the organ in the body that has the emotion, that it has the intuitiveness, that it has the gut feeling of, hey, I really like this guy, there's something to it. That kind of a thing. It's in the heart. And I'm asking you to set aside the mind, analytical, how can you know this, how do you know this, that kind of analysis, and go with the heart, and then ask yourself, is my heart resonating with this information? Or is it reverberating with it? Wah, 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 wah. And that's, reverberation is like, in this case, when we're talking about heart frequencies, if it's reverberating, it's causing interference. If it's resonating, it amplifies and grows and resonates and on and on and on and on. Okay? So, the point of the illustration of the resonance amplifying and so on of the heart is to us to recognize that we have to bring this information to our heart and let it sit there and see if it resonates. And if you don't get any real wild kickback from your brain saying this is ridiculous, it just doesn't compute. If it's just saying, well, I've never heard of that, I suppose it's possible in the realm of possibility, you can do that. Set aside the belief system, take it in, and then just hold on to it. You don't have to make it your truth. Just hold on to it and say to yourself, this information is new to me. I think I'm going to, hold on to it, set it aside right here, examine it a little bit further, and see if there's any other information along this line that also resonates with me. And then the next video will come along, and I'll be talking about something. If it resonates, then it gets added to that and added, and then you have a new idea that kind of hits you like a 2x4 right between the eyes, like, wow, this is really true, and that stuff that I've been holding on to all my life isn't. Wow. And now when you really recognize about the greatest hoax ever upon mankind, about the fear of death, you don't have anything to fear about death. Well, if you're not afraid of death anymore, then you're fearless, aren't you? I mean, people who are fearless and not afraid of death are out there jumping out of planes and off buildings and all those kind of stunts, riding down mountains on machines and whatever, all this stuff where they could be snapped off the face of the life in an instant, but they're fearless and they're doing all this stuff. Well, why? Why are they fearless, Because they realize that, well, I don't know why they're fearless, but why are you fearless? Why should you be fearless? That's really the question. And why should you be? Well, because you need to recognize there's nothing on this planet to be afraid of. Nothing. You are indestructible. You are eternal. You're immortal. You're a life force that always has been and always shall be and evermore. Amen. So there's nothing to fear about anything. Now, the only thing that could happen to the negative side is you do something and it causes the body that you're living in at this moment, in this three-dimensional reality we call life on planet Earth, this body could be killed somehow. And if that happened, then the spirit would separate from the body and go back to the spirit realm and continue on as if nothing happened, just away from it. Okay? And then wait for an appropriate time to go right back into the next newborn baby. Whether right before or after, whatever, it doesn't matter. The next baby, spirit unites. Now you're going to start another life. And everything you learned last time gets all forgotten. So it's pretty hard to learn from your mistakes when you can't remember them, but you can remember them. See, and that's what I'm here to help you learn. That every life you live, in every reincarnation you exist, for all the multitude of incarnations you have experienced on this planet, every one of those experiences is accessible because they are permanently recorded in the record and it is available to you. And we're going to explain how you can get access to it and know it and learn from it and make it your own. And with that knowledge, you are truly magnificent, invincible, indestructible. This is what it's about. This is the liberation of humanity from slavery as human beings to beings that live in humans. Okay, we are beings that live in humans, and we express this reality by just being part of it and experiencing every moment. So it's all good. It's important to recognize that determination of where this information comes from is not relevant. Take it as a story. Take it as a myth. Take it as a legend. Just take it as something you're hearing as if it were entertainment, and don't put it in the category of, oh, this guy's a prophet, and the first wrong thing he says, he's out of here, I'm not a prophet. I'm just simply a man on a mission, and my mission is to teach. I'm very polished and experienced motivational teacher. I've had many decades of practice speaking motivationally to thousands of people. So this is only going to be a new subject for me, but that's okay because this is where it's at. So this is the message of today's clip. We hope it made some sense to you. And just remember, let your heart be the resonator upon which truth resides. Thank you so much for listening. This is Obi-Wan MuGaBa Abawega saying, love you. Namaste.